So the thing about this is the human arm is usually smaller here and it wedges out. So if I strike straight and he occupies that position, it kind of pushes my hand away from the center. And if he keeps his palm up and pushes towards me, my big part of my forearm pushes him away from my center. So what he's going to do is change that by striking. Once he turns his hand, he snakes his way up to the big part of my arm, and he's created an opening, and I have to jump to stop it. I'm going to punch to his solar plexus, and he raises up. I don't lock my arm out because he's going to slide in. And you're not trying to really hit the person anyway with this, so it doesn't matter. So he strikes, I jump, I punch to his center, and he raises up. Then we go back to that position again. Okay, so I want you to try that apart. Learn how to lift and roll with the bone. Most people punch to the face. I did that for years myself. So people corrected me. You punch to the body, and then the person has to raise their bone up. Okay? Could you put this behind the shoulder blade? So I'm pressing my scapula on this paper. If I do this, what's going to happen? It's going to fall, right? So when you're doing Sium Tao, and you're doing the strikes, and you're doing things like this isn't a Tan Sao. This is to stretch the ligaments, elongate the ligaments so your punches will be flexible. So when I do everything, I keep this here. When I punch, I keep the shoulder blade pushed back. So when you're doing this drill, you don't lead with your shoulder. You're doing two opposing forces. Elongates the ligaments. This is part of the muscle, bone, and sinew changes that all martial arts have. See? So when I strike, I'm still pushing back with the shoulder blade and extending. So I'm actually trying to touch that wall in front of me when I'm doing Sium Tao, when I do these strikes. Some people do a ton, it's not that. I'm elongating my ligaments, so your punch is more flexible, okay?
So you put the triceps out there?
Yeah, well you train the tricep. See, this punch uses the bicep, our punch uses the tricep. So that's what you're doing, pushing back, measuring that. But if I keep my shoulder blade back and pull, you have to take the whole unit. I have a student in Canada, it's a third degree in Aikido. It's hard for him to throw me because because I don't give him any, I don't separate my shoulder from my body. I make it one unit. Okay? Now, later on when you punch, you want to do extension too, of course. But for training right now, you want to elongate those ligaments. Okay? You're not pushing down, you're just changing the angle of the bone. So if you think of your ligaments like pulleys, right? So once I throw my fingers up, it pushes my ulnar bone down. See? So I'm not pushing. Let me borrow you for a second. So if you look from this angle, if I push, you can sense that and go around. All I'm doing is changing the angle. See? So I'm not pushing it all with this. I'm just pulling this ligament here, and it makes that ligament go up. So that's all you're doing. It's that motion there. It changes. See? Here I'm not touching my finger. If I do this, it touches. That's all you need. Okay? That's all you need. So it's no push down at all with the forearm. Forgot to tell you guys. The one hand Chi Sao. So he strikes and I jut. Maybe I push too hard. So circle around in slow motion. He circles around in slow motion. I see the opening and I strike. So his intent is to strike, first strike. So if I push too hard, circle around and strike. Right? See that? That's what he's going to do. I push too hard, he releases. If you don't find force, he releases. Let's do it again. Real slow. He strikes, I push too hard. He circles around, says, don't strike yet. He's about to strike me, but I strike him. He's going to change and jut. You can jut like that, or you can jut this way. Either jut works. So basically, he's learned how to interrupt. So he strikes, I push too hard, he's going to jut, and then he's going to punch me. Then I go. I don't do a good bong sao because I have shoulder problem. I have, what do you call it? No, there's a bone thing. Spur. Bone spur. So your bong sao should have the elbow higher than the wrist. Mine is not going to be like that, so it won't imitate me. So he strikes, I push too hard, he punches. Okay, do it again. So this time, I'm gonna punch, and you, see how he had to interrupt?
Nice.
So basically, he's about to punch, it's like, can I say shit? I just did. Oh shit, I'm done. You know? So, you know how to interrupt, so practice that slowly. So here's the best way to practice it. So, he strikes, I do a proper jump, punch, at the bone, and then I do a proper one. And on the third one, I'm gonna push too hard. See? Do it that way, so you get to feel the difference. Okay? I do a louse out to the inside, I strike, he jumps or pops and punches. So when I push out, right?
Yes.
Okay? So normally we do the louse out to the inside. It's a leaking hand. It's not a big circle like that, it's a tiny circle. But if I punch and you cross pop me, see, I do allow to the outside, I do it slow. See, I do allow this way. If I punch parallel, he pops, I allow to the inside. So you have to know how to allow to the inside, to the outside and inside. Okay? All right. Can most of you do this? Pat your head and rub your stomach. So the left hemisphere of your brain controls the right side of your body and vice versa. So when you're doing the forms, you want to keep one fist, 2 fingers off the body. So it makes you focus on that hand. A lot of you just have the hand lazily hanging here. You have to have this back. So if I'm doing Silong Tao, I'm with my right hand, the left side of my brain is controlling this function. So if this hand is dangling, the right side is doing nothing. You want both sides of your brain to work independently. So when you're doing the form, you have to have your fist at least 2 fingers away from the body. If it's laying here, you're not doing anything. So a lot of you have your fist out here. From that side, you guys should be able to see my fist. I pull it back. And the fist should be at a high chamber, so it forces you to breathe from your diaphragm. Most Southern Kung Fu systems do a chamber here. I can use my chest to breathe. See? But up here it's hard. It makes you just use the diaphragm. Okay? So keep your fist back here when you're doing the form. Don't let it hang lazily or in the air dangling. It has to be back here. Okay. Most people do cross arm like this and they're standing in place. And I'm actually on his blind side now, he's on my blind side. So if you were to train Wing Chun on the Mui Pacho, the plum flower pose, there would be a pattern like the number 5 domino, pips on the domino. So there'd be 2 pips here, 2 pips here, and a pip in the middle. When I'm doing Silong Tao, my knees point to that middle pip. When I step forward, I pass my knee over that pole and step here. So that's the width I want. So, stand over here. So when you're doing the cross-arm Chi Sao, you guys, people should be on the same path. I shouldn't be standing over here. Okay? And most people in our lineage do it wrong. Okay? It should be this way. Right? So I'm here. Now, I want to dissect his body into 2 equal parts. Wherever he's standing. But this puts him at a disadvantage. And he wants to do the same to me. Puts me at a disadvantage. So for the sake of the drill, you share that line. You don't really do that with your line. Okay, you share that line. We're going to get a partner, we're going to work on, we will need these now. And we're going to work on it. He's hit. He doesn't have to back up. Right? And we come back again. Right? Okay? Basic, see? So just try that for about 3 or 4 minutes with a partner, then we're going to add on to that. Okay? So he's going to step in and pop. I'm going to step back. Right while his hand is here, he's going to do a trim sound. Slide up on the head back, and then you either step to your right and lock me, take me off balance and hit me. So let's do that one first. So you attack me. Right, see what happens? Try that. Let me do something. Let me do it to you. When you pop, make sure you trim up here, in case the other hand comes, and then I lock. This is really a finger jab to the eye, but we don't do that in class. So just go up here and lock. Okay. If I pop and I let go, I don't know where his hand is for a fraction of a second. So when I touch, I've got contact. I can feel anything from here in this hand if I touch my own arm. So for a fraction of a second, I've got both hands on. just a fraction of a second, literally trap me. So I go, see? So I never lost contact. So Grandmaster used to say, you probably were there, seminar in Toronto, this Yip Man would go, you got hair on your arms.
Yeah.
That means you're not doing good tunes. When I pop, this hand has to pull back. So Wing Chun is push and pull. See? Equal power. Push and pull. So when I tune, this hand comes back. Don't leave this hand idly there. Some of you are doing, and just leaving that hand there, you can trap me. So when he pops, yeah, see? Exactly. Pull back, okay? So while I'm here, I pop, I chew, which means spreading arm because it's like a needle going under the material, chew, solid, and I step to the side. I can also go, step up, and track. Maybe we should stay with the one we did first before that.
Yeah. He had a question.
Yeah.
He had a question regarding the Chun Sao, whether the Chun Sao should.
The tune, when you lock, when you're locking,
Yeah.
you lock straight to the elbow or go to the
Try
forearm?
to,
For now.
you
For
try
now,
to
for
get,
this drill.
for this drill, you want to get to the elbow.
Go immediately
I
to
wanna
the
get
elbow, right?
Control the elbow.
Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Because you control the elbow, you control a person's balance. Look, you make them go back, forward, anything, okay? You go for the
Thank
elbow.
you, thank you.
Let me just show you something. You don't ever want your elbow back here. People do Chi Sao with their elbow back here. Your elbow should always be a fist and a half or whatever measurement away from your body to generate power. So get into a good stance. Put your elbow on your body. Okay. Without using your body, just your arm, push forward. Can't, right? So now have some space. Now push me forward. Well, no body. Just arm. See the difference? Better. So if your arm's here, you got no power. So some of you are doing, hot me, and bringing this hand back here. Your elbow should never be this close to your body, ever. And if it happens, adjust it quickly. Okay? I see masters on YouTube doing Chi Sao, and their elbows are back here. It's wrong. Okay? That's across all lineages. So, don't kill me. So, when I do that, when I pop and you do that, no, not that. No, just put this on. When I do this, I don't want to pull him into me, because now, look, he's going to tackle me over there. So when I do that, I try to step away and pull him out there. So if he does a shot, hopefully he'll go out there. So some of you are actually locking in. See? And this is his game, so I'm in trouble now. So when you lock, pull the person away from you, not into you, okay? That was good. This is a lock saw. See? That's this. That's all it is. And I grab. It's not this. It's not a sweep at all. It's just that. So I'm here, lock. Now in this instance, I'm doing a center line lock. So 2 inches behind my wrist bone should be at my center. The measurement is chun in Chinese, 2 chun behind my wrist. So when I do this lock, see, it's in my center. So all I'm doing is this, but in motion. It's not a swipe at all. Because if you swipe, you can miss. Because there's a jab, there's nothing to grab, right? So in here, I'm stepping, I have an imaginary square here. I'm stepping to the upper left-hand corner of my square. See? So when I do this, I don't want to step here because he can attack me. He's got more mass than me. I'm a little guy. I don't want to pull a big guy into me. So I'm going to pull you over there. So I got your blind side, right? Okay. Right? So this is a central line lock. Center line lock. Sorry. Center line lock punch on the central line. Okay. Yeah, so we do that Lao Sao circle hand. It's a leaky hand. Like water takes the path of least resistance. We also have a reverse lock sound, so back lock sound. Most people are familiar with the forward lock, moi lock, right? So, what we did before, I'm going to step in, put it in the receiver, I'm going to step in and strike. He's going to pop. I'm going to do this. See? Facing that way and then turn. See, so when he does this, it's just like the Silong Tao, you imagine someone snapped your hand away and release. Right? So Okay, so then I release here, I can punch. Or if I'm fast enough, I can try to take both hands, whatever, I take whatever's there. But basically, I talk, punch. Okay? So, I can also lock that way. So it's a reverse lock, so I can go here. Okay? I can go here, step over here. So do that real slow, that part. Pop, so pop your hand, you're gonna either step to the right or the left. Cross arm, I'm gonna step here, see? Lock in the center, punch on the central arm. So this is initiate the attack here, and then step. This is very basic. So I'm going to the upper right hand corner of my imaginary square in this instance. Step there, strike. Make sure you'll punch out like this because you can get his elbow. So my arm is over his elbow, protected. So this is an attacking. So this is the guy, he's standing, he's sleeping, he's just attacking, you know? But he's sleeping. So I step inside, strike. And you work on the defensive stuff. So there's a question about thumbless or thumb lock. If you're, say you do a round punch with that hand. If he's attacking me, I do a thumbless lock. Because I can make a mistake and he can crack my thumb. So if someone's attacking you, you do a thumbless lock. But if I'm initiating the attack, I don't have to worry about it. I can use the thumb. Now a lot of Wing Chun lineages will say never thumb, but you got a better grab because I got stuff in here I can press. Yeah. And for women with smaller hands, if you can lock around a man's hand, where the bone, where the muscle separates, you grab in there, you can lock. You can dig in there, the pressure point's in there. So if I'm initiating, I can do the thumb. If it's coming at me, I don't want to do thumb because I can misjudge and break my joint in my thumb. So you do this. Remember that. And one other thing about the lock is you don't reach with the lock. You use the structure. So I usually give an example of, like say a wall here. Say, I can't move this wall, but I can move around it. So even if the person is stronger than me and I can't really lock them, I can move myself. Say you don't move at all, and don't let me lock you. I can't lock you. Just put myself in the position so I use your strength against you. That's why this has to stay in this structure. Now we do have locks on the central line, but we're not doing that now. We're doing a center lock now. Okay? Okay. So I clear and I punch. He does a move south and a ball. So we're doing a woo on your central line. So the woo should be straight up and down, not at an angle. So I clear, and then he locks me in punches. Do this. Clear, and then lock, clear, lock. Right? That's going to be the basic drill. Start with the lock, right? So I punch, I clear and punch. My punch turns into a lock. I'm going to step to my right and change stances and step to his left. See? That's the way the chains lock. So anyone can initiate the change. So from my punch, and he's got to match my side because he doesn't want me here. So you know, you've all learned that drill. If I step here, see? Because you know when you get to your blind side, right? So while I do this, I'm trying to get to his blind side, but he compensates, right? So that's how I do that change. Okay? Do that with the punch. Which side goes instead? So I lock, right? So then this time I'm going to lock, I'm going to throw a round punch. He's going to step and do a gun, step to that side and do a gun, and then do another gun, and then punch. High off. Right, so I lock, do a body punch. Right? See how I keep moving over? I'm trying to get to my blind side. So practice that. Okay? So full. You're going to rotate with double arm. Full. So you don't want your wrist, one hand down here and one back here. Your wrist should be over each other. This, right? So we're going to rotate, and I'm pushing forward. I'm forward into it. Just do one hand. See what happens when I let go? He touches me. If I just do this, he can slide in. I have no forward intent. My arm is just dead in the air. But if I push forward, he slides in. So I have forward intent. Press 3. So we remember that. Also, you don't want to do circles, like driving a bus, because you can take advantage of that. I'm going here, so if I do this, it just takes my energy out of it. So my energy should always go to my opponent's center of mass. See? So the first one we're going to do is the basic 8 count drill. I strike, he juts, that's 1. He punches, I tongue to the bone. That's 2. 3, the person pulls out back. 4, strikes. 5, 6, 7, 8. So everybody who knows this, please help the people who don't know this. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so we're doing this one now. We're going to rotate. So do a few fun tricks. So I'm going to kind of like push his arm over, crossing my arm, which is dangerous because he can jump and trap me. But since I'm moving, I'm kind of cheating. So I want to expose his elbows. I'm going to shoot him out, box out, strike. So as we're rotating, I'm going to move his arm over. Now notice how I pulled my hand back. I didn't do this and leave this out here. I pulled this back just in case he does jump. So from here, I move across. Right, take his balance, move this straight. Okay. So going across, I pull this back. I don't want to leave it out there to give him anything to trap. In case he tries to trap, he's got nothing. Okay. And I don't want to do this, go out here, because I've given him a present. Given him my
elbow, right?
Right? So basically I'm going to go towards the center of mass. And I'm going to take his balance, put all the weight on one of those legs to restrict his movement. Like you can do palm straight, whatever you want to do. So as I'm rotating, okay? Next one. Next one. So from here, I'm going to pop, chewing, and lock. So that slap kind of throws him up. See? So I'm going down, I slap his head, and lock. Okay? Go here, and lock. I can also do a T-step. I can go, it depends on the situation. So from here, at the both sides. Now I would do it. Now. See, from here, hit that hand down, step to the side, make sure you get the elbow, and strike. Off strike, G, whatever you want to do. Nice and slow. I want to go Chi Sao, lock Sao. But if I just do this, he can check me with a view, he'll be step with it. He can just lock me or view me. So what I want to do, or if I want to go here, I did the wrong thing, my bad. I want to go here and lock it. But if he follows me, I'm in trouble. Right. So, see? Right? So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to draw his attention here. He jumps. Now I do. See? So I go here. Jump. So this, when he jumps, he puts my hand right where I want to be. So I shoot south, and I cover in case he throws the other hand. I'm there, already there. So this is the distraction. I'm just going here and then pop. Try that one.